Hey everybody, this is Boost for you with week 2 of DDL. My opponent this week is Killateral, and he has the dreaded Terra Ice Idk. But aside from that, there's also Hisuian O'Rourke and Landorus Therian. Interesting ones are Screamtail, Hisuian Decidui, Iron Hands, and the Tauros is actually fire, but its Terra type is water, so that can get a little confusing. The first thing I noticed is that he has no grounded poison type. So you'll always see me, well, I wouldn't say always, but there's a very high chance I'm going to bring Toxic Spikes when your team does not have a grounded poison type. And furthermore, their hazard control is not that good. He has Rapid Spin Idk, which I can admit it does a good job at beating my spin blocker. And then his only defogger is actually just Decidui. Landorus does not have defog this gen, so he has the slow and lots of weaknesses to exploit Decidui. So my plan is going to be to spread poison and just rack up as many hazard damage as possible, because I'm going to force him to switch a lot because he needs to get in his Idk every time. I can see him bringing all 3 Mons in the 3rd row, his Idk, his Screamtail, and most likely Vaporeon, since my team struggles with bulky waters. He wouldn't bring 2 Intimidators, especially when I have Contrary and Defiant. I think it would be too easy if he did, and he should be aware that Defiant and Contrary are a thing on my team. In terms of his hazards, he only has Stealth Rock from what I can see. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. And his speed tiers are alright. It's kind of on the same page as mine, minus his speed demon of Idk. But I do have an idea in mind. Contrary superpower Enamorous looks really good in here, especially with Sub and Protect. I can stall out Screamtail's Encores. I can fish for dodges when Contrary gets triggered by Defog. And I can just stall for recovery. I can get free superpowers on the majority of his team. The only weakness to my Enamorous would be his Idk, but that's why I'm going to have 2 specially defensive Juggernauts for that. So let's move on to the team. This is what I decided to come up with. We have set up Zapdos. This is for Landorus Therian. It shouldn't be able to touch me thanks to bulk up and lefties. And after agility, I outspeed even his Idk. Just dual stab is enough to do the job. Next we have Palossand. It's special defensive. The EVs are to ensure it lives a modest life orb Terra Blast Ice. But just in case I'm not at full, I always have Yachtberry to bail me out. Because of this, I'm still going to use Palossand as a spin blocker. So if I see Idk come in when I have a lot of hazards up, I am for sure gonna bring out Palossand. I need those hazards to stay, because that'll mean more chip for Idk. But on the occasion I do get to be in a 1v1 with Idk and Palossand, I have Flash Cannon to deal huge damage to it when it terras into ice, because I basically force it to terra. The rest of the EVs are just dumped into defense. Next is Goodra. Ice Beam for his Landorus, and actually Shelter is a new move, a signature move. It's just a carbon copy of Acid Armor and Iron Defense. I could use Acid Armor. It has more PP, but Shelter is new. Gotta show off the new moves, you know? And body press combos with this, along with my defensive EVs, this makes me able to take on literally all of his physical threats. Maybe just not a boosting Landorus or a boosting Decidueye, but Bisharp, Tauros, and even Iron Hands, they should be no problem. Oh yeah, I should add that it's special defense. I said it's going to be a specially defensive Juggernaut. It is. I mean, look at that SPDF. That's max 120. This ensures that after leftovers, that a modest Specs Terra Blast Ice from Idk, it can't even 3-hit KO me. So that's the strongest version of Idk, and it can't even 3-hit KO me. That's enough for me. I think that's safe enough. I needed the defense EVs to survive his ground and fighting moves, because he has a lot of those. Next is Muck, dedicated lead. With Air Balloon, I'm able to lead it versus anything, except maybe for Ridgeraff, but I'm not really concerned with that mon. I have to get up Toxic Spikes right away, and I can basically keep it up thanks to Palossand spin blocking. And if he decides to go Decidueye, lots of my mons are actually able to just one-hit KO it, so if it does decide to defog, maybe on Goodra or Palossand, then I can go into my defog abusers, which would be Zapdos or Enamorus. Poison Jab and Sneak is just there to spread poison. A priority poison chance is also really nice. Ice Punch is once again for Landorus. And even Decidueye, because poison typing actually walls Decidueye pretty well. Now we have a defensive-ish Samurott. It's special defense. Make sure that Focus Blast from Zoroark does not one-hit KO me. I decided to feature a sharpness boosted Aerial Ace this time to one-hit KO Decidueye. And the speed is to creep Jolly Decidueye. So if he tries to come in on Samurott, it has zero chance of like beating me 1v1. You have to be like Koba Berry. Ceaseless Edge to spam some more spikes. And Razor Shell, I could use Aqua Cutter to avoid the defense drop triggering his Bisharp's Defiant. But I honestly don't think Bisharp will be a threat. I have Zapdos, I have Enamorus who resist Sucker. They both resist Sucker Punch and just want to KO it. And Razor Shell's defense drop is much better, I think, for Landorus, Iron Hands. It's much more consistent than a 12.5% chance to crit. And Aqua Jet is there for all his fast threats that are weakened, like Regieleki or Landorus. Last is my win condition. Enamorus as Sub Protect. I already explained it before. I'm gonna try to get as much boost with Superpower. He doesn't have a Ghost type, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he has no Ghost types. It's Terra Water and Terra Ice. Oh, he has one Ghost type right there. But yeah, the Decidueye and the Idk are his two biggest problems, but that's why I have Muck and Goodra. They both cover those. And Enamorus should be able to sweep through the rest. I already explained Sub Protect is to abuse Defog and Leftovers and to stop Encore, but it also is great for stalling for Toxic Spikes damage. Superpower gives me the attack and defense boost, and Play Rough is my stab to finally break through Screamtail once it ran out of Encore. Its special defense makes sure that its subs does not break from Screamtail's Dazzling Gleam, and the rest is just dumped into attack and defense. But yeah, that seems about it. Let's see how the battle goes. I'm a little scared about this because Terra Ice Regieleki. I'm looking at my options and there's not much. I really have to wear it down to the point where priority can finish it or it just dies to hazards. Because Gudra can't heal that reliably. It can only come in so many times. And Muck is even worse because I don't have Black Sludge. So, yep. Let's see how this goes. So right away there's no Landorus Darien. No Intimidate at all too. I guess he was too cautious about Contrary and Defiant. But everything else is... Oh, he does have an Intimidate option. His Tauros, that box over there. I don't know why Showdown does not show the Tauros yet. It's already February. But yeah, he has Tauros, 2 Psychic types, his 2 dangerous special attackers, and Iron Hands. I'm guessing Iron Hands is his physical check. Stops basically all of my physical attackers, provided my Enamorus doesn't get enough boosts. But I don't really see a problem with leading Muck. I can get T-Spikes on everything. Even for Ridgerath, I don't even know what it's gonna do, so I'll just lead Muck and get the T-Spike up. So it sets up Reflect and makes me believe it's dual screens. Not so much of a problem. Maybe I can just start fishing for poison, and I do indeed get that as he just sets up rocks. Really, I want to weaken this Scream Tail with poison so that Enamorus can set up on it. In comes the Farigiraf, but that just does nothing. Wish barely healed stuff, so I didn't really mind. So I went into Enamorus over here because I was afraid that it would just straight up use Psyshock. No, actually, I don't know why I went Enamorus. I think from this point I deduce it wasn't even a good win con anymore because his Defogger isn't there, his Landorus isn't there, which is an easy setup opportunity, especially with Stone Edge missing. But yeah, I don't really have any more good setup I don't have any good mons to set up on, so that's why I decided to go Enamorus. My win condition actually became the least valuable member. And he starts setting up, which is okay. I don't know what it's doing, but there's the Calm Mind. Good thing I'm physical. And I just stall for some poison damage. I don't believe it has healing moves. You can try Rest, but that's so unreliable. And the stored power, I live that, barely. The defensive EVs help out right there. And here comes the Electro Kid. Now I save Enamorus as a sack, because he's obviously gonna, he's wanted to spin. I'm always gonna go into my spin blocker, as I need to poison the rest of his team. Okay, now he surprisingly uses Wish, when I could have killed him right there with a Shadow Ball, but I guess he wanted a Suicide Wish to heal up his whoever else is coming out, and I guess maybe Regieleki. Yeah, definitely wanted a Suicide Wish for Regieleki since it's going to take rocks and poison damage. But over here it just sets up a Reflect and makes the Wish go to waste. Now in comes a Fire Tauros. There's no Intimidate, so I decide to just sack my Enamorus right there. Over here, I didn't pay attention to it using Shadow Ball. I don't think so. So yeah, I didn't pay attention to it using Shadow Ball. I think I did sack Enamorus to scout for the Zoroark illusion, but when I sacked it, I think I skipped turns or something, but I didn't pay attention to what happened, so I decided to go Samron, because like, oh, water beats fire, and then there comes the Focus Blast. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's not choiced, and I didn't live the Focus Blast because it's either modest, but it's most definitely because the Stealth Rocks, it messed up the calculation. I could have been taking a chance with that, but the chance didn't play out right. So now that I know for sure it's Tauros, I mean it's Zerork, I'm just gonna get my special defense wall and start chipping him for however much I can. And it does really weak damage because of Reflect. There's the real Tauros with Intimidate. And as you can see, I'm trying to spam poison, but this Tauros is kind of lucky. This empty box is not getting poisoned. At this point, Muck is kind of useless. Yeah, it's a special defense wall, but I still have a healthy Goodra for that. Okay, from there, I'm like, okay, I don't really care if you burn me, plus Earth Power is super free now. And yep, Palossand claims a kill right there. Over here was his Terra Ice Eleki. I know for sure this time that I didn't realize it was Zerork, because the Stealth Rock damage should have been 25 on an Ice type, but I did not notice that. So I switched out because I don't want to reveal my yacht just yet. And plus, why take a Terra Blast Ice when I have someone that's meant to take it? So we have Goodra right there. I needed Palossand healthy for the Iron Hands. And it uses Shadow Ball, so I was like, oh, okay. I didn't realize it would be Shadow Ball, and I just assumed Regieleki got that, so I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's gonna die to Poison, so I'll just switch over to Palossand from the incoming Terra Blast Ice, and then I can just survive it this time, and I'll have everyone alive. But it was actually just a Zerork. I don't know why I wasn't paying attention to Illusion. That's kind of the lesson of this match. But now it's 2v2. But I do have all my hazards. He can spin though, so I have to watch out for that. He doesn't elect to spin. Instead, he just gets damage on me and I get the body press. Now over here is a little scary. Was my Goodra oh, no. Okay, yeah, my Goodra had a little bit of speed investment, but Iron Hands easily could have outsped me. But it didn't, so I used my Shelter to tank the Drain Punch. I was thinking either use Ice Beam once, or try to rack up poison damage, as much chip damage as possible, so I wanted to survive an extra turn with Shelter. And it did allow me to survive. And now it's either Ice Beam or Body Press. I decided, well, I'm +2, so Body Press has to do more. And the best part about this is that he heals even less with his Drain Punch, now that his first Drain Punch already weakened me to like less than 20% health. So now all that's left is his Iron Hands. Send out my Zapdos and get up the Bulk Up. I know I could live any one hit from the Iron Hand, so I needed to get the defense and the attack boost, because for sure I can't one-hit KO it from this range. But with the poison damage and the attack boost, it might be possible, and that's when I go for it. And just like that, he dies, and all that's left is his Regieleki, which dies to hazards. And that's GG. That was a really close game. It went exactly how I thought. except for me forgetting about Zerork. But Gudra was kind of the MVP here for tanking all those special hits. And oh wait, I don't think Regieleki is there. It should have died already. Yeah, it died to my press. This freaking showdown is glitching. But yeah, Gudra tanked all the special hits, and then it actually ended up tanking all the physical hits too, thanks to Shelter. Because all that chip damage was needed to destroy the Iron Hands. I was actually considering bulking up one more time, but it used Ice Punch, so if it ended up switching to Wild Charge, there would have been a chance that I died. So that's why I had to start attacking. But yeah, that was a great game. GG to Killateral. Hopefully this 2-win streak continues. Speaking of win streak, I should also mention that in the last season when I won, I went undefeated. The record shows 10-1 though. The one loss was actually the first week. It was from a different coach actually. They kind of rage quitted after the first loss because they got disqualified in their first week. So yeah, they rage quitted, and then I came in as a sub, and I ended up becoming undefeated after. So this is now a 12-win streak in this entire draft league I'm in. Hopefully we get to continue that. Thank you so much for watching. See ya.